Hey guys, what's up? It's JR Cuber, and in this video we have another Puzzlcrate unboxing. This is the June box, so let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. Alright, looks like we got two puzzles in here. So the two puzzles are the Rediminx and the Gear Hexadecahedron. So let's go ahead and start out with this one. So let's go ahead and read the card for this one. Landland has given us yet another awesome gear puzzle. The Gear Hexadecahedron turns extremely well for a gear puzzle, and the build quality is excellent. The weight and feel of the puzzle make it fun to just pick up and turn, even if you don't know how to solve it. Like most gear puzzles, this one can be a little tricky to wrap your head around once it's all mixed up. Scramble it up and have fun. All right, a new gear puzzle. I love gear puzzles so much, so I'm really excited to check this one out. Okay, so I feel like I might actually have this one. Okay, so I don't think I have this, but it's very similar to this puzzle here, which I do have. In fact, this almost looks like it's just a deeper cut version with the stickers kind of switched. So on this puzzle, the uncut faces, so the untouched pieces all have the colored stickers, whereas the pieces that have been cut down from the normal gear cube have the gold stickers. And on here, it's the opposite. So this one is slightly deeper cut, so you can still see where the faces are the same, but this just the corners are just cut in a little bit deeper. And now all of the colored stickers are on the modified faces, which aren't actually real faces, rather than on the original faces. So I'm not sure if this is going to make it more easy or difficult to solve than this, because this one basically solves almost like a regular gear cube. It's even a little bit easier because there's no corners, but I'm not sure how this one is going to solve. I guess we'll just go ahead and do some turning, see how it moves. Yeah, it turns pretty much just as well as all of the other Landland gear puzzles, which is not fantastic, but definitely usable. The gears just are a little bit rougher than I would like. But yeah, overall, not too bad for turning. So let's just go ahead and scramble it up and see what it would take to solve this. Alright, so I think that's a decent scramble. Now, it doesn't really look that scrambled because these pieces are all the same color. And then you can also pair that with the fact that gear cubes don't really get that scrambled to begin with. And by that I mean the original gear cubes. There are a lot of gear puzzles that are very hard, but the original one, not so much. So let's just go ahead and see if we can solve this. The corners should really not be too hard. I'm not sure if it even matters which way the corners go. I guess we would just want to make sure that the pairs match up with what the edges kind of are. So it looks like here, just by doing that, all these four edges pair with their corners. So I think we can kind of leave those alone, and we're gonna want to swap. Let's just see what happens if we swap these edges around. Okay, so that's not right. So I think maybe the corners actually, it needs to be like that. There we go. Now I think all of the edges can rotate this way into the positions they need to go, which is the only way they can rotate. So let's go ahead and try this then. We need to swap these two and these two, and that'll also swap these diagonally. So if we swap those edges, just by doing this, then we should be able to do these. These are done. These are not done. Huh. This is odd. Okay, so now I kind of have two halves of the puzzle done, but this middle half is not done, which is strange, because we should be able, if we're swapping these two, these should be opposites. Okay, I'm not really making any progress. I'm still just ending up with these edges that are out. So these corners must be wrong in some way. So I'm going to go ahead and try and keep these pairs the same, but by doing something kind of like that. So I imagine now everything is in the right place. So the weird thing is there's no way for this edge to get here. That's not possible. So these corners have to be wrong, but I'm not sure in what way they're wrong. Okay, so now we're back to a place where everything should be solvable, but at the same time, it's not, because now look at this. This needs to come here, but that's impossible. And this needs to come here, and that's impossible. But this can come here, which is possible. All right, let's just start over. This needs to come next to this, so this can pair up. This needs to come like that. So now this should be able to come here. This can come here. So all of these, these. Okay. I feel like this should be solvable now, but I guess we'll just find out. These need to swap diagonally. So now those are done. These need to swap horizontally. These need to... What? That doesn't make sense. I guess maybe... No, because that's not in. Maybe just something like that. Maybe it's solvable now. Yeah, I think so. Possibly. Nope. That's not it. Now we're back to where we were. These need to swap horizontally, but these are already done. So maybe if we do that, now they need to swap. No, that's not right. Oh, there we go. Now they'll swap diagonally. Aha! Alright, there we go. Now I can just orient these. Yep, and we're done. Okay, so definitely a lot trickier than a normal gear cube. Not knowing which side the corner goes to is actually really tricky. So props to Landland for making an actual gear cube modification, a base gear cube mod that's actually a good amount harder than the original gear cube, because I have a lot of gear cube mods and they basically all solve pretty much the same way. But this one I actually had to think about a bit differently, which is pretty cool. All right, now on to the next puzzle, which is the Rediminx. So the Rediminx is the result of combining the Redicube and Megaminx puzzles into one. It was designed by Justin Costa and mass-produced by Moyu. Like the Redicube, this is a vertex turning puzzle that is a delight to play with. It might not be the most difficult solve, but it is fun enough to keep any cuber entertained no matter their skill level. Its weight, size, and smooth turning give this puzzle a very high quality feel. Enjoy. All right, I'm definitely very excited to check this one out because I hadn't really heard about this puzzle before. When I first pulled it out of the box, the first thing I immediately thought of was one of those edge-turning dodecahedron puzzles that MF8 makes, which I don't have anymore. I used to have one, but this is a different puzzle entirely, and it's definitely going to be a lot easier to solve than that puzzle. So this is a corner-turning puzzle. Wow, very cool. So I imagine this is probably the same size as a Megaminx. It feels like it's about the same size. And the turning is nice. It's a bit weird to grip a dodecahedron corner. It's kind of hard to grip, honestly. I would almost prefer if this had ridges, but that doesn't really make much sense for a non-WCA puzzle. But yeah, it's just kind of an odd angle to grip things at. It doesn't feel like there's that much to hold on to. but the turning is really smooth, and it's not that slow. Like it's pretty easy to move the corners. It feels pretty much the same quality level as most Mofang Jiaoshi puzzles, so no surprise there. And the colors are really vibrant and really pop. So yeah, this should be a fun solve. It should be very easy to solve because, you know, all of these corner turning type puzzles that with these simplistic designs all have this same 3-cycle pattern that the Redicube does, and any corner turning puzzle, which kind of the Redicube is based off of, because there was a lot of corner turning puzzles that came before the Redicube, but people now tend to just think of that puzzle because it's so popular. So let's go ahead and scramble it up and give it a solve. All right, so I think that is a pretty sufficient scramble right there. So now, as soon as I say that, I'm seeing some pieces that haven't been moved that far, but anyways, I think this will be good enough. I think the easiest way to go about this is just going to be to turn all of these corners to be solved so we can kind of get an idea, an easier idea of where everything needs to move. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that for all of the corners, and there's a lot more on here than there are on a 3x3. But let's just turn all of these into position. Just like that. Is that all of them? Nope. One more. A few more. Okay, I think that's everything. And just like that, you can kind of just see the outer skeleton of the puzzle and where all of these edges need to go. So we'll just go ahead and start on white. So this yellow piece can come up here like, oh, whoops. I guess we can turn them in backwards now. We didn't used to be able to do that, I don't think. I don't think you can turn in a piece backwards on a Redicube, except for the middle layer. Okay, but there's that piece in. Let's see if this will go in backwards now. Yeah, it looks like it will. Okay, so you have to turn it in from this side. Interesting. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's get this piece in. Oops. Yep, that's going to go in backwards as well. Interesting. Okay, so we kind of having to turn everything in from like the non-intuitive angle. Just kind of annoying. Okay. Let's bring both of these pieces around because I'm gonna need both of them. I'll turn both of them up. Just see which one goes in first. Yep, we're gonna have to turn in. Actually, turn it in right. Nope, not like that. Like that. Yep. And this one will go in. Nope, never mind. This one has to go in over here as well. Just like that. There we go. Alright, I think you guys get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these pieces until we get to the top. So an interesting thing that I'm noticing is that sometimes I'm having to do setup moves in order to do insertions. So for example, this piece needs to come in here, and the only way it can come in is by doing an insertion from this side down. But to complete this, I have to do something like this, which will knock out this solved piece. So I actually have to do a setup move to bring in an unsolved piece here so I can do a 3-cycle between these 3 pieces. So now this works, and I can bring this back. So I just figured I'd point that out because that might be confusing if you're going about this your first time. Okay, so I'm actually having a little bit of trouble getting this last edge in for everything besides the top layer pieces because this will go in backwards if I try to just insert it normally. As you guys can see, it's backwards, but I can't really turn it around to the other side without knocking out some of these solved pieces. So I guess maybe something like this. Not quite. What am I doing here? Nope, that knocks out that. Alright, do that first. Yes, there we go. Okay, now we're just onto the top. So let's see how we should do this. I guess we'll start with this one since that will automatically solve. So we'll solve that, and then to solve this, that's going to go in backwards. So we have to turn this over to this side, and then move this up again. And now do that. Move this back, and this back. Oops. There we go. Okay, now we just have a 3 cycle. So, but that doesn't work, does it? Yeah, the problem with that is we get 2 flipped pieces. So, let's see how we might address this. Let's unsolve those. This is going to have to come around to here, and so is this. So I suppose we'll get this over here, and then maybe solve this one. And then this one will be flipped. That just means this one will also flip, so that can't be right. So it's just these two that need to swap places now. Maybe something like this. Let's swap these positions and then come back. Oops. No, maybe something like this. Ah, there we go. Okay, so just a bit of fiddling with the angles of inserting everything basically did it. Okay, so not too bad of a solve, didn't take me that long. I don't think that even took as long as the first puzzle. But yeah, overall, a very solid puzzle crate. 2 very interesting puzzles that made me think a little bit harder because they were both a little bit trickier than I thought they were going to be. This one was kind of based off a gear cube, which is a very easy puzzle, but it was actually tricky. This is based off a Ready cube, which is a very easy puzzle, but it did have some things that made me think a little bit, which is awesome. Hey guys, so before I wrap up this video, I want to go ahead and pick the winner for the April Puzzle Crate video. I completely forgot to do it in the last Puzzle Crate video, so I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. This is for the Fangshi Venom Cube, so let's go ahead and pick a winner. Alright, so here is the winner. If this is you, then go ahead and send me an email with your shipping information using the email on the About page of my channel. Thanks to everyone that participated, and congratulations to the winner. But yeah, that's about it for this month's Puzzle Crate unboxing. If you guys want to check out Puzzle Crate, I'll of course leave a link in the description. It's a $30 a month subscription service, and you get new puzzles sent to you every single month. Anyways, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.